Hi again everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another, you guessed it, speed build video. Today we are building a starter house. Now believe it or not, I have never actually built a starter house. So a starter house is where you build a home that has to have everything that a sim needs to live, but it has to be under 20,000 simoleons. So as I said, I have never done this before because I think when you restrict budget, obviously you have to make some hard choices here and there, but I actually really enjoyed doing this house, building this house. I had way more fun than I thought I was gonna. Don't get me wrong, it's not the prettiest house, it's not gonna win any awards, but it's functional and I think we made the best of it. So the exterior of the build isn't anything too special. Obviously we're restricted with the money that we're allowed to use, so it's nothing too, I guess special. It's just not. But I think what we ended up doing was using a lot of the debug items for the landscaping, which I know a lot of people do just to sort of pretty the build up a bit because without that, you know, it's just going to be a house with no greenery. And if you know me and my building style, that's just not going to work for me because I absolutely love landscaping and using a lot of trees, plants, flowers. So yes, we use a lot of debug items, which is cheating a little bit, I guess, but hey, what are you going to do about it? And I actually found some really nice items in the debug menu that I've never come across before. So I think in the Star Wars stuff pack, which I haven't actually used very much, if I'm being honest, but some of the build and buy items are actually really nice, and a lot of the items in the debug menu from that pack are really pretty. Like there's some really nice flowers, these pink ones that are at the front, not the ones we've just removed, the ones that are still there. They're from the Star Wars stuff pack, and I was so surprised to see that that was the case. Not hating on the pack, I'm just saying that I was surprised. So, like I said, we had to make some hard choices with this build, but I like that it made me think about what I was placing and how much money I was spending, because as I said, this is like a new experience for me. Normally I just go in and I'll spend whatever and use whatever items. So when I do either pack restricted builds or money restricted builds, I think it just challenges me that little bit more, and I like being challenged every once in a while. Don't get me wrong, I think like anybody I prefer to stay in my comfort zone, but I think sometimes it is good to challenge yourself, and this house definitely did that. As I said, it looks like a starter house. I didn't do anything special with it, I don't think. It's I don't know, but I did have a lot of fun doing it, so that's the main thing. And hopefully if you guys do download this build, then you can use it and your sims will like it. You can extend it. I'd love to see someone start off with it and then earn some money and renovate. I'd love to see that. So if you want to tweet me some screenshots, please feel free to do so. So working on the interior of the build, I kept me doing the floor plan because obviously this is just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, so I couldn't really mess that up too much. And really taking note of what costs what, because as I said, it's not something that I've ever paid attention to. So I didn't realize how much stuff cost in this game. Like, it was pretty crazy. And we use a lot of items from the Eco Lifestyle pack because a lot of them are quite cheap, but obviously they look really nice, so I think we utilized that as well. And the kitchen, I think, actually ends up being really nice, really cute, and the whole house really, but the kitchen, as you know, is one of my favourite rooms to build in and decorate. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun with this, and just trying to save money wherever I could, because I think we ended up having to delete some items at the end as well, which I didn't expect. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't expect to just come in and find it really easy. I didn't expect that at all, but I definitely didn't realise how hard it is. And when you see people on YouTube doing this and they make it look so easy, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that easy then, is it? And it's definitely not. But I did still want the house to feel like a home, so I didn't want to cut back too much on, you know, plants or clutter or anything like that. I mean, I had to cut back a bit, so it's definitely not as cluttered as some of my usual builds, but that's okay because it's a starter house. So the bathroom is so simple. It's literally a toilet, a shower and a sink. I don't think I put too much in here, and I managed to afford a dressing gown to go on the wall, which I was quite impressed with. And the rugs from the Nifty Knitting Stuff pack, if you guys didn't know this, actually don't cost anything. They're from the Show Hidden Objects menu, and I think your Sims actually knit them. So they're actually produced by a Sim, so they don't cost any money. So I used a lot of those rugs in this build because I can't not use rugs. I'm sorry, like, no, I'm not doing that. And I sort of mix and matched the living room. I didn't want it to be too matchy. I've got a bit of a thing about this at the moment, and not matching stuff too much. I think it makes it a little bit more realistic, unless that's your style, to really matchy stuff up. I know my house in real life isn't too coordinated, but it works, so I like to do that in my Sims houses as well. And then using this base game wallpaper in this sort of powder blue swatch, which I was afraid would wash out the build and make it look quite cold, but I think it actually works quite nicely. I did use the green, but I always use green on walls. There's like a warm green swatch that I like to use, but I thought no, I need to come away from my comfort zone a little bit here and do something a bit different. And then I do end up adding some items at the end off camera, because when I stopped recording I was convinced I was finished, and I decided to just make some very small changes and just add some extra little bits, because when I uploaded it to the gallery it was actually 1,000 simoleons short of being 20,000. This build is actually just under 20,000. I can't remember the exact cost, but it's not quite 20,000 simoleons. So I went back in and ended up just adding a few little more trinkety bits just to make the house more homey. So you'll see that in the screenshots at the end of the build anyway. But the bedroom, I realised, was quite green. It ended up being really green, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't change out the bed there for like a white one, or maybe an orange or a yellow. It's just anything other than green, but it is what it is. If it's not to your style or your liking, please feel free to just change the bed, because looking back now it's very green, isn't it? I think I was trying to tie in the outside because I used the green windows from the university lifestyle pack, and yeah, it's university lifestyle, Discover University. Just ignore me. I haven't had my coffee this morning yet, so I am struggling. So on the outside, this is where we had to make some hard choices. So I end up sort of half fencing the back garden off, and then I use some bushes and an archway from the debug menu to just fill in the gaps, which I thought was actually quite clever, if I do say so myself. But the back garden is actually a big mess, so I'm so sorry. You might want to come in and just completely bulldoze this part of the build and just start again, because it's basically just debug plants and some chairs. It's a little bit embarrassing, really. I could have probably done more with it, but we all know how bad I am at back gardens, so this is the best I could do on such a small budget. So there we go. It's so embarrassingly bad. I'm so sorry. I don't even know why I recorded this, because this is genuinely embarrassing. But if for some reason you do wish to download this house, it is now available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd. The tray files, as always, are in the description down below from Sim File Share. Screenshots are at the end of the build if you'd like to see what it ended up looking like and just to see what it would look like in game. But thank you so much for joining me here again today, and I will see you next time. Bye!